Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day I bid to Madam Munifa, our beloved lecturer. So today my group is going to present our case study, which is a socio-economic status and academic achievement, a case study of Mrsm Mustapha Tawau. So I am Nur Hazika binti Khairul Anwar. So my group members are Izzatu Khairunisha, Shailene, Gloria, and also Nuriman. So I'll proceed to the introduction. Alright, so as for the introduction, so SES or socio-economic status is a combination of social and economic factors such as income, education, occupation, and neighborhood that determine a person's position in society, or basically how they will be or what they will be in the future. And it involves not only individuals or families, but also extends to schools, communities, to even governments, and it happens globally. And this concept is actually not new, has existed throughout the history, but it only gained its popularity in the late 19th to 20th century as the researchers were trying to find a connection between how social class affects education, health, and also career. And this concept is very evident in many research, such as how SES has a very big influence on working memory, focus, and self-awareness, and also language ability. And researchers on STEM subjects has also proven that basically students from higher SES tends to perform better in this subject compared to students from lower SES. And this basically has proven the significance and the relevance of this concept, and because how it strongly influences academic achievement and also someone's future opportunities. And sadly, even after countless effort, all the efforts given, this gap still persists until today, which only call for an action for us to do something to promote educational fairness and also social justice so that this will be changed in the future. So this is a case study on SES impact among MRSM Tun Mustafa students, supported by sociological analysis and critical evaluation.
So today, I will present 4 main findings from my study on how socio-economic status affect Form 3 students' academic performance in MRSM Tun Mustapha Tawau. For the first finding, which is students' family background. First, most students come from low to middle income families. This survey shows that 40.4% of parents earned between 1,001 ringgit and 1,005 ringgit per month, and many parents only study up to primary or secondary school, which shows that the students may face challenges at home because the parents may not have the knowledge or skill to help them with the schoolwork. The second finding is to access to learning resources, which it shows that even though many students come from low-income families, the school provides good learning facilities. About 88% of students have Wi-Fi, a study space, and reference books, and 76.9% have access to a laptop or computer, which shows that the school helps to reduce the gap between the students from different income levels. Students still have the tools they need to study well. The third finding is the parental support at home. 98.1% of students said their parents support them, but however, this support is mostly emotional, like giving encouragement. So this shows that parents care and want their children to success, but because many have low education levels, they may not be able to help with homework or subjects that are difficult. The fourth finding, which is the last one, is the students' motivation to study. Finally, many students study because they want to improve their family situations. 53.8% said their main motivation is to change their family's financial status. This means that students are motivated to study not only for good grades, but because they want a better future for their family. Education is seen as the way to achieve that. So, in conclusion, students face challenges due to low socio-economic background, but the school facilities and strong motivation help them continue to their best.
Good day to Madam Munifa. My name is Mrsm and I will continue on the analysis on the finding, what the findings reveal about the SES issues. The first one is from the responses that we got. It is clear that most of the students come from B40 or low-income household, yet their academic performance remains strong. This shows that socio-economic status does influence living conditions and opportunities, but it does not necessarily determine the academic success. Many students come from large families, which usually means limited financial resources and shared attention among siblings. However, despite these constraints, most students reported having internet access, study spaces, and digital tools at home. This indicates that their families still prioritize education even when income is limited. And their parents' education levels are moderate, yet nearly all parents show active involvement and emotional support. And this shows that family encouragement and moral support can make up for the lack of financial and education capital. So for the patterns and themes identified, the first one is economic constraint with high aspirations. Most students face financial challenges, but they remain determined to succeed. Their limited resources seem to motivate them even more to change their family situations. Second one is resilience and optimism. The majority of students disagree that socio-economic status affect their performance. This shows confidence, self-belief, and resilience. They believe that efforts matter more than their background. Then the last one is parental encouragement. Almost all students receive regular support from their parents, even though their parents may not be highly educated, but they provide emotional and moral guidance, which keeps the students motivated.
Assalamualaikum, a very good day, madam. So I am Izzatu Khadijah and I will be continuing on application to the Malaysian education context. So in the case study of Mrsm to Mustapha Tawau, it actually reflects what is happening across Malaysia. So we know that the ongoing socio-economic gap in education exists. So even though Mrsm provides equal facilities and opportunities, students still perform differently depending on their family background, right? So this shows that equal facilities do not always lead to equal outcomes because learning starts long before students even enter the classroom, right? So factors like home environment, digital access, and also exposure to knowledge play a huge role in how students learn. So these findings aligns perfectly with the Malaysian education blueprint, which emphasizes on equity and also access for all learners. So but the case study reveals that access alone is not enough because what matters is how we prepare the students and how supported each student feels. Like from a sociological perspective, this connects with Bourdieu's concept of cultural capital, where students from wealthier families bring academic confidence, communication skills, and also prior exposure to help them succeed. So while Marxist conflict theory also explains how education can unintentionally reproduce class inequalities. So the system benefits those who already have resources, right? However, on the looking at the brighter side, symbolic interactionism shows us a little hope because that positive daily interactions between teachers and students can actually transform confidence and also self-belief in the students. Now, what do these findings actually mean for Malaysia's education system? Let's look at the implications. First, for teachers, it's clear that awareness of SES differences should influence how we teach. So teachers can practice inclusive and differentiated teaching, giving extra guidance, or even simplified resources for those who need it. So this is not as a pity but as an empowerment for the students. So building a strong teacher-student relationship can also bridge confidence gaps because a simple act of encouragement can completely reshape how a low SES student views their own ability. So next, for school, structured support systems are key. Schools should develop bridging and mentoring programs to help students from disadvantaged backgrounds catch up, not just academically and but also emotionally. And it is equally important to avoid labeling students as B40 or also weak because these labels can often stick to themselves and limit their self-belief, right? So at the policy level, the focus shouldn't just be on building schools or giving laptops because policies should ensure digital equality, emotional support, and also parental involvement. For example, rural parents could be engaged through workshops or WhatsApp groups to understand how to support their children's learning, not just being a CCTV in the WhatsApp group, right? So this aligns directly with the Malaysian Education Blueprint's mission, which is to achieve fairness, inclusion, and also excellence in all schools, all types of schools. So lastly, for future research, this MRSM study can open new pathways. So we should compare STS patterns across different MRSMs or even conduct a more broader studies to see how STS shapes tertiary education and career outcomes.
Assalamualaikum and good day, Madam Munifa. I am Sharlene Vidhi Shamsuddin. I will be presenting on the suggested recommendations, especially for this issue. First of all, we as teachers, we should strengthen our support systems for them. We should provide academic and emotional assistance through tutoring, mentoring, and also counseling. This is because they definitely only come to us for their emotional and also academic support. We actually have it practice here through a lot of interventions out of the class. The second one is I would suggest for us to improve our digital access. This is a responsibility coming from the school and also the system itself in order for the students to have equal access to technology such as their personal devices, good computers, stable internet, and also a conducive study spaces such as library and free room for them to study. The third one is we should encourage parental involvement, on which that the school could organize programs and workshops for parents especially from the low SSS background, for them to understand the school system and also to find practical ways to support their children's learning when it comes to STEM, because we need to tell them that STEM is not something that is behind, and it is something that is very needed in this current era. Now let us continue on the second part of the recommendations. The fourth recommendation would be to promote inclusive school culture. This is because as the students are living in a boarding school and in a very modern culture right now, we have a lot of students coming from different socio-economic backgrounds. So we should foster a school environment that reduces stigma, especially when it comes to the low SES background students, so that they would feel valued, included, and motivated. Next, it is definitely important for us to provide career and future guidance, especially to those who do not have enough information about it. So counselors should be conducting sessions focusing on their career planning and also a long-term goal setting for them to strengthen their self-belief and aspirations, and so that they have a purpose coming to a boarding school which focuses a lot on the STEM subjects. The last one is this definitely should be aligned with the Malaysian Education Blueprint 2013-2025, as we know that the blueprint focuses on the holistic education. We should ensure all initiatives there and school promote academic excellence and inclusivity without any biases, especially when it comes to students who are coming from low socioeconomic status. So everyone is equal. Everyone should be getting the same privilege as students, and so that we could achieve the holistic education.
Okay, so in conclusion, you have seen that how SES have a very strong influence on students' academic performance, that which basically will determine how they will perform or they will become in the future later. So even though with the same access, equal access, same school facilities, the same efforts given by the school, students from higher SES still perform better to compare to those from lower SES. And the gap of these causes has been identified, which are basically the income of the family, okay, the family support, how involved are the parents in supporting their children's academic, the background knowledge that the students have, and also how early or how the quality of the preparation that the students had earlier before they start school. Okay, and sociological theories such as conflict theory, symbolic interactionism, and Bourdieu's cultural capital basically explain how social structures and cultural advantages keep this gap alive despite the efforts given to combat this issue. And low SES students, they have shown a very strong resilience. They are hardworking, they are motivated to learn, but sadly, due to the systemic unfairness, um, it continues to limit their success, okay, to compare to those from higher SES. Okay, and additional factors such as school setting, peers, and also how students from different gender interact also shape how SES impacts achievement. So in short, we can say that every student deserves the same chance to succeed. So no matter where they come from and what their background is. And it is our responsibility to, in a way, contribute to society so that we can change the situation. So I think that's all from us. Thank you so much, madam, for your time. Assalamualaikum.